I have made 2 videos of discovering and exploding all of the over 200 TNTs of the Lucky TNT mod, and today will be the final part of this series. And because I have so many destructive TNTs, useful TNTs and weird TNTs, I would watch the video until the end, because if you do so, you'll see a very special explosion at the end. That TNT here is far less special, but it's still very cool. It copies the block below it, but the block only seems to actually be there. Of course, it's perfect for trolling the people you're playing Minecraft with, so maybe your friends, maybe your mom. I mean, I don't play Minecraft with my mom. Anyways, if you want to have actual resources and not only copies of them, I would use the BIGGEST TNT. It makes that everything is gold, also your inventory, but you will never need any more gold. If you want to take the butter TNT, you can also do that. It can also make gold, not as much though. And talking about useful explosions, if you don't have the silk touch enchantment yet, just use this here. It destroys blocks and drops them how they are, so grass for example. Here's a list of all the silk touch items and blocks. That is perfect combined with this. It produces skulk and all of the deep dark items. You cannot get them without silk touch, but here we go. And the stuff from the deep dark is annoying to obtain because it's in a cave, so just use X-ray now. And no, I'm not talking about a texture pack, I actually mean a TNT. It turns a huge part of the world to glass, granite and diorite included, except for ores of course, and if you don't even want to go in a cave, you can just stay on the surface and light this thing. It's also possible to do it with dripstone. It's efficient and satisfying. Destructions can also be satisfying, so let me show you that thing here. That was it. Crazy, isn't it? Alright, no joke, my PC still renders the goddamn explosion. And holy crap, now look at that. That's what I call an explosion. But I want more. I have an ice meteor for you and a TNT called Global Disaster, and if that still wasn't enough for you, that is actually no problem. The sinkhole TNT here makes a very big hole, good for mining, good for people who like holes. The dividing TNT just clears the surface, and I think this little thing here makes by far the biggest explosion of all TNTs we had. It's kind of a tornado, a very destructive tornado. Compared to that, the big TNT is nothing, just like the dense TNT, but that is still pretty satisfying. And talking about satisfying TNTs, that here is actually very satisfying. That here is quite nice as well, and that here too. And this picky TNT clears the block under it. We can do that with grass, with leaves, but also with cobblestone or netherrack to find ancient debris. And maybe you remember in the first video of this series, I had some TNTs that created biomes or structures by exploding. Well, I have them here too. First of all, the warped forest. I mean, it would be good for speedrunning, but there aren't spawning endermen in this here, and that here is way more interesting because you can create lush caves on the surface now. But I think they're supposed to be underground, so let's try that out. And that is not even that cool. Surface is better, and because we had the nether, we can also generate the end of course. And holy crap, there are tons of endermen, so it would be useful I think for speedrunning. And we also have 2 structure TNTs. The first one is well known, it's the geode, but the second one is kinda random because it literally spawns a graveyard in the world. That's where you will be if you aren't subscribed. And I have even more TNTs that just don't make any sense, especially the Christmas TNT. You know, from a Christmas TNT you expect like trees and decorations and Santas, but instead it just snows. That's literally it. That here is even worse because it just exists and eventually it explodes. And the last random TNT is actually kinda cool. It eats mobs and you can't even die in creative. Anyways, I still have to show you lots of cool TNTs like a firestorm, oh my god, or a snowstorm. I like both of them, but here are again some useful TNTs. I like that here the most, and I just wonder what happens if you hit one of these bees. Well, for all of the redstone lovers, I have 2 TNTs here. The first one gives you lots of redstone items, and with that here you can drill tunnels. I would have needed that earlier actually. And the opposite of useful is annoying, and this thing is annoying. Imagine that accidentally goes off in your base. I don't know either how I should use this. It's a normal TNT but reversed, and with a swap TNT you change positions with a random mob nearby. That's very cool. And you know what's also cool? My SMP. Already Already a few people joined, and if you also want to join, just click the link in the description of the channel. Today I met up with a new player and visited his base for the very first time. He gave me a mending book and I gave him an anvil in return, and after that I went to the nether to get quartz for my base. I farmed pretty long and then I started building. I think we will add several mods to the SMP. That will be very interesting. Now back to the video. Or should I say back to the dynamite, because the mod doesn't only add TNT but also dynamite. So of course there's a normal dynamite for the normal TNT, but also there is a dynamite for every TNT I've shown in every video. So for example, a lightning dynamite. Oh my god, how does it look like if I spam it? Oh, I think God doesn't like me. Anyways, I only show you dynamites because they're incredibly satisfying, especially the arrow dynamite. Spamming this is literally so much fun. These two are also very nice. They can make holes in the floor and you can't tell me this isn't satisfying. This here is also great. And this here is actually my favorite. It creates a rainbow and it makes so much fun to spam it as well. So a minute ago we had like the ring TNT, so now we have the dynamite version of it. As satisfying as the multiplying TNT, and this here is the final one. It can grab mobs and pull them in the air. Let's make that with this horde of cows, and before I will show you the best dynamites for today, I want you to see nice spamming dynamites. So the fire dynamite, for example. That would be so good in PvP. Imagine spamming your enemy with this or with this. They wouldn't stand a chance. I wouldn't spam this here because it would lag a lot, and I wouldn't do it with this also because it spawns tons of wither skeletons, so it's actually pretty useful. The farming dynamite is also useful, and the bee dynamite. We also had that before, and you know what? I love this roulette TNT. It's like a 10% chance that it blows up. You can make crazy games with it. Alright, if I can throw it 6 times without blowing up, you need to sub. Bruh. And now I'll come to the final part of the video, destructive dynamites. Let's start with the nuclear dynamite. It makes a big explosion and you get an effect. If you're in survival, you die almost instantly because of the poison and everything, so I would be actually very careful with that thing. Anyways, we all love satisfying destruction, and the spiral dynamite is perfect for that. It's kinda satisfying and it destroys a lot of the world. This here is kinda similar, only that it spawns co-meats. It's fun to spam that, really. There's also the big TNT, really big, that guy, just like me. Haha. The explosion is not that big though, but if you throw 100 of them, it's crazy. And guys, it's time for a little experiment. How does it look like if you throw it with an auto clicker? If you want to know, just watch this short on my channel. This here is great as well. Just wait a moment and there we go. The more, the better. And guys, I found the perfect weapon. Just imagine using that in a fight. It looks so cool. And for the last dynamite, I've got a really big one. It makes a huge explosion. Let's spam it, you know what? My poor PC. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, just watch this next. I show you very good mods for SMPs in that video, so just go watch it. Also, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment what your favorite food is.